the Dallas Sidekicks. A pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm John Paul Dellacamera. Alongside me is Ty Keough. Ty, we know that both of these teams will advance to the upcoming MISL playoffs, but it's an important game because both teams are fighting for the division lead.
You always want to be the champions of your division. The Dallas Sidekicks have been at the top of the Western Division since day one in the league this year. The Kansas City Comets, on the other hand, had some problems in the early going, but they've come on so strong the last couple of months that they're now right one game behind the Baltimore Blast in the Eastern Division.
Kansas City has been red hot. Last year they had some injury problems. One of the reasons for their success this year is that they have stayed more injury-free, and Jan Goossens is the guy that's having the big year offensively.
He's having a great year. He has the thunderous shot with his right foot, and he combines so well with Dale Mitchell.
Now, defensively, Kansas City is an improved team. They've had two fine goalkeepers in Jim Gorsuch and Mike Dowler, but lately with Gorsuch being injured, Dowler has really carried the load.
Dowler has carried the load. He has 7 straight decisions in his favor, and he was named the Defensive Player of the Month in the entire Major Indoor Soccer League.
One of the guys that Mike Dowler will worry about tonight, he'll have to worry about this man, is because he's leading the league in scoring. Tattoo is having a most valuable player type season.
Tattoo is running away with everything. He is the main cog in the entire attack for the Dallas Sidekicks. He's become their franchise player.
Now, on the defensive side, 2 good goalkeepers on this squad as well. Chris Sobieski is here, but he won't play tonight. He's been out with a lower back strain. Joe Papaleo, meanwhile, has been carrying the load. This will be his 10th straight game.
His 10th straight game, and he's having the best year of his entire career with a 3.41 goals against average and a 13-8 record.
Papaleo comes in second only to Scott Manning in terms of that goals against average. Mike Dowler is fourth. Some great goalkeepers and some great scorers, and they'll be on display when we come back to Dallas for the kickoff next. Here on ESPN, we've got the Kansas City Comets trailing Baltimore by 1 game in the Eastern Division, going up against the Western Division leading Dallas Sidekicks. And today's game is being brought to you by Union Jacks, the official uniform supplier of the Major Indoor Soccer League. And by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1990 World Cup. This Bud's for you. Here in Dallas, the Sidekicks are 2 wins away. Their magic number is 2. I shouldn't say 2 wins. It's any combination of a couple of wins by the Sidekicks or losses by the teams next to them in the standings, St. Louis or San Diego, and they would clinch it. Ty, they have a shot at doing that this weekend. And on the opposite side, as we said at the top, Kansas City wants to keep winning to maintain that pace with Baltimore, and if they can, they play each other the last game of the regular season.
Well, again, you're talking about perhaps a bye in terms of the playoffs. If you finish first, you don't play in the first round of the playoffs, you get a bye. Also, between finishing second and third, it's the home field advantage in that first round.
Billy Phillips coaching on one side, a man who cut him at one time, Dave Clements, coaching the Kansas City Comets on the opposite side. Well, he may look tired right now, but he's going to get into this one. Up and down soccer action you would expect when you have 2 teams that play the way these 2 clubs do.
Well, and you have 3 of the 4 top scorers in the entire league matching up against each other. Dale Mitchell and Jan Goossens for the Kansas City Comets, and of course Tattoo, the league leader for the Dallas Sidekicks. And this could be the first ever divisional title for the Dallas Sidekicks.
They call him Iron Mike, and with good reason. A couple of years ago, 3 years ago, he played in 51 of 56 games with Tacoma. Last year, only 17 as a backup to P.J. Johns, but this year, he's having a sensational year. On the opposite side is Joe Papaleo. Second is Scott Manning in goals against average at 3.41, carrying the load, while Chris Sobieski is injured with a back problem. Sobieski trained a couple days this week and should be ready to go soon. Barry Wallace has it for Goossens, and we are underway here in Dallas. All the way back to Wallace. They call him the Boomer, and if he gets a chance with that left foot, you'll know why they call him that. Here's David Doyle. Followed by Powers. Tattoo along the boards, trying to get it away. All the way back, Wallace will play it right back to Dowler.
You mentioned team defense and the style of play of these 2 teams. Dallas for years has been known as a defensive team, and that's been a large part of their success, including a championship in the 86-87 season. We talked to Dave Clements today, though, and he felt that at this point in the season, how well Kansas City's done just in the last several weeks is due in large part to their ability to really close down the other team, particularly in later stages of a game.
And Dowler's been a big help. His goals against average less than 3 during the month of March when he was the MISL Defender of the Month. Here's Doyle, sending it just wide of Papaleo, and Jan Goossens was on the doorstep. He'll get another crack as it goes wide. Doyle again on a half kick, and Lawson will clear it out. Right side for Kevin Hundelt. Gets around Powers with a nice move. Both players originally from the St. Louis area. Quick shot up the boards is blocked, and Powers, second on this club in block shots to Wes McLeod, takes it. Got by Hundell. So turnabout was fair play, but the ball is lost all the way back to the feet of Mike Dowler. He started his career in Wichita. Barry Wallace played some in Wichita as well. Over to Doug Neely as the Comets try to change up on the fly. Dolly is now on for the Sidekicks. He's chasing Neely along with Tattoo. Coming back, it's played ahead to Ted Eck. Tackled away by Lawson. In the battle for it, it's Neely. Back to Kim Rundved, playing with a bad left groin, but is back in the lineup after missing 7 games with Kansas City. It is scoreless here. We've gone almost 2 minutes in the first quarter. Here's Mitchell. The turnaround shot was wide.
Mitchell does that so well, almost no space or time, and all of a sudden he's turned around and he's cracking a shot on goal.
And that one was cracked by Eck, and it went over Papaleo. Mitchell and Dowler were mentioned this month as offensive and defensive players of the month.
Here's Mitchell doing what he does so well, getting around on the shot on the quick turn and putting it just an inch maybe wide of that far post.
A look at Dale Mitchell, formerly with Canada's World Cup team in 1986. Still a member of that Canadian national team. He was on that team as they tried to qualify for this World Cup, but they did not do so. They lost to the U.S. in one of the opening rounds. Troy Snyder now with it. He and Wes McLeod are at the back. Beto, who has played so well for Dallas, 10 goals in his last 14 games. And Billy Phillips said it's his versatility. He's played everywhere, including 6th attacker for him this year. Snyder with a give now to Willie Milano, who's also getting some more carpet time of late for Dallas. It is scoreless. 12.5 to play in the first quarter from Reunion Arena in Dallas. It's headed away now by the Comets. It comes back. Fraser heads it right back, and it's cleared off the head of Dowler. Milano with Greg Ion. Slid over to McLeod. A low shot is wide. Beto coming through right across him. There's nobody home. McLeod will try to finish. Going to the outside. Right across. Blocked by Dowler. Coming back for it, Willie Milano. Milano was going to play it back. Mitchell tried to deny that. Milano leaving it off to McLeod, and now it's Beto. Beto and Milano started their indoor careers with the Lasers in Los Angeles. To McLeod, and off the boards, it's settled down by Greg Ion. Ion off the boards, a giveaway. Quick shot, a save by Dowler, and Dowler will come up with another one. Mike Dowler having to do the job that time on the young Salgado.
And play stays alive. The official is considered to be part of the playing field.
Coming back the other way. Mancha. Now it's Beto. Coming back. And we've got a foul called. Herb Silva, the lead referee, head referee of the Major Indoor Soccer League, along with Marty Templin working the game. Kevin Terry will be the alternate official. Kevin Smith now on the left side, holding it against Tom Kane, former Duke All-American. Again, it's Snyder. Slow start to this game. Both teams maybe feeling each other out early. Here's Snyder. Neither team has played this week. Might be a little bit rusty after playing some pretty tough schedules. Most of the teams out.
There's a great deal of respect between these two teams. They've really proven that really you have 2 of the top 3 teams in the entire league in terms of team record for the entire season. And Kansas City has played so well as of late that the Dallas Sidekicks, even though they're at home and they're also 3-0 in this building against Kansas City this year, I think they're really nervous about this one.
Lawson will let it go. Back to Papaleo. Long clear intended for Dolly. He heads it up for Tattoo. One-on-one right now against Wallace. Now everybody comes back. Tattoo with a cut to Smith, and a good run back by Tommy Kane to deny Kevin Smith. Tattoo, we mentioned at the top, having a career year after last year when his numbers were good. They had 35 goals, but they were only ordinary for Tattoo. He has 58 goals coming into this game. 8 of them are game winners. Dowler will give it up now on the right side. We're down to 10 minutes, 5 seconds in the opening quarter, and it's a scoreless tie between Kansas City and Dallas. On the right side of the field, Kansas City in no hurry. Now Dowler with a throw, upfield now to Goossens. Jan Goossens leads the MISL in assists, has actually doubled his assist total from a year ago. Goossens coming into the game with 50. Tattoo with a poke.
McLeod did a nice job on Goossens, and Goossens trying to use his body along the boards. McLeod wouldn't buy it.
Kevin Smith, nice cut to the inside. A great save for Dowler. And that's the best reaction save of the night. Closest we've come to a goal as Hundell played it back to Fraser.
Dollar's already been tested twice and has looked sharp. At the other end, Papaleo just had that one shot go wide by Mitchell.
Here comes the man, and Tattoo is taken down by Doyle. Foul is going to be Carlin Doyle.
A late tackle by Doyle there as he was trailing the play. We'll see it here. Tattoo acceleration, just that change of pace. Doyle couldn't keep up with him, had to stick a leg in to slow him up.
On the opposite side, here's Milano. On his cut, trying to feed it across to Beto, and it's broken up, and this is Doyle in some traffic. Nice couple of spins there to get himself out of danger, and he just dumps it the other way, and Papaleo is out of his goal.
That last replay was a good illustration of one of Tattoo's weapons, which is his change of speed. He was dribbling at one speed, Doyle's chasing him, all of a sudden he takes off, and Doyle's out of the play. His only chance was to try and trip him up.
Snyder, back to Wes McLeod, who was originally a midfielder. Wasn't scoring some points. They moved him to the back, and he's been a mainstay ever since, and he's leading the entire league in block shots. 128 coming into this game. He broke a previous club record for Dallas. Coming back, Rundvedt for Ted Eck. All the way across to Ion. Leaves it ahead for Rundvedt. No defender has scored more points in MISL history than Rundvedt. Number 10 to Mitchell, and now Eck in the box, and Papaleo will come up with it. Snyder did a good job to detain Eck.
Well, you see the aggressiveness of Ted Eck. He doesn't flinch at all. He goes straight for any loose ball and uses his body. He's a strong character.
Tattoo trying to get it free from Ian Fraser, and now it's Kevin Smith. Smith over the line. Trying to feed Tattoo, right idea, but some aggressiveness, and here come the Comets. Dale Mitchell coming back, the second leading goal scorer in the league, and Powers beat him that time in the 1-and-1. Papaleo will give it up now to Mike Powers, who's been a mainstay in this Dallas defense. Did they have too many men on the field? That's what I think the call might be. Let's see if Kevin Terry, the alternate official, has it on the opposite side. Billy Phillips.
Well, there was some confusion. There was some confusion as Ferretti tried to step onto the field. He hesitated once. He waited. He feels that he waited long enough before he made the actual exchange and before the ball came over to that side of the bench.
Well, it looks like Dallas may be penalized for an illegal substitution. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's 7:35 left in the opening quarter of play, and so far from Dallas, it's a scoreless tie.
Salgado, but here we've got Smith, who cuts inside and cracks with his left foot, and Dollar has to reach to his left side at the near post. He guarded it well.
So Dollar has made the one big save up to this point. It is a scoreless tie, and Dallas has the edge in terms of saves, but Dollar's save was indeed a beauty. And the penalty for illegal substitution on Dallas, you know, there's a white line on that opposite side of the field in front of each team's bench. It's about 3 feet away from the boards, and if you make that change within the 3 feet and you're not interfering with the play, it's okay, and I didn't see any interference there. Here is Goosens now on the power play for Kansas City. Kansas City comes in with the 6th ranked power play, but they're going up against the least ranked power play or penalty killing unit in the MISL. Sidekicks have been dead last in killing penalties this season, all year. Here's Rundvedt. In fact, that's Dallas's only weakness this year are their specialty teams. Mitchell slides it across. Goosens tees it up, and he just missed the far post. Wallace. What firepower on this unit, though. You've got Wallace and Rundvedt manning points. One with a strong left foot, the other with a strong right. You've got Mitchell, you've got Goosens, and Greg Ion also out there.
It has good balance. You've got some guys with some defensive qualities, too, just in case you do lose possession.
McLeod, you can add to his block total of 128 after that one. Right side for Goosens, in the area. The turnaround pass, and Wallace is robbed by Papaleo. That stung him, but you can see why they call him the boomer on that one.
Well, Wallace and Rundvedt are perfectly complementary. You've got Wallace, who prefers the left foot. He's got a big left foot. You'll see it. Ion on the turn finds Wallace. Wallace tries it with the outside of his foot, got just a little bit under it. If he's able to strike through that ball and hit the top half of the ball, he may cause more problems for Papaleo.
Sidekicks penalty killers have killed off 5 of their last 6, even though they've been dead last this year. So lately, it's been better. Goosens ready. It is a scoreless tie. From the restart on the corner kick spot, Rundvedt to Barry Wallace on the cut. Bringing it out is Dale Mitchell. Mitchell will give it up now. Again, it's Rundvedt. Rundvedt and Wallace started out playing with Wichita together and then ended up both with the Comets. Here's Rundvedt again. For Goossens. Blocked in front of Powers and then played back smartly by Snyder to Papaleo. And Papaleo wants a timeout.
Well, the number one consideration when you're killing a penalty is to guard that goal. And you see Mike Powers, he's guarding the goal, but he's also plugging up those passing lanes.
Well, they've killed off most of the penalty. When we come back, the Sidekicks still have 35 seconds to kill, and the man advantage still belongs to Kansas City in this year as a pro coach. He was once the coach with Denver and the St. Louis Steamers, and what a job he has done this year with this Kansas City Comets team. 13 straight at home. That makes you a popular guy there.
He just got his 200th career victory just about a week ago as well.
Comes into the game with 201 career wins, 191 losses. Sending it long now is Papaleo. Remember, they're still trying to kill a penalty, the Sidekicks are. Kansas City with the ball. Right side, they'll play it to Rundvedt. 7-2 of the shots on goal. The edge belongs to Kansas City now. A lot of it coming, though, in this power play. Mitchell tees it up, blocked by Beto. Wallace cracks it, look out. How would you like to be holding onto a beverage there when Wallace tees it up? Wallace, an interesting story. He was with Kansas City last year. Because of the salary cap, they couldn't re-sign him this year. He gets a great offer from Tacoma, and the first chance that they got, they made a trade to get him back, and they dealt Keough and Jerry Gray back to Tacoma. We look at Bruno Ferretti, who was serving that penalty, scratching his head, saying, what did we do wrong out there? They were called for an illegal substitution. Apparently, and my memory is not working on this one, apparently they must have figured that when those guys came on and tried to make the change that they were figuring in the play. They didn't touch the ball, but they don't have to. I just don't remember them being involved in the play. This is Papaleo again. For Dallas, he'll just lob it, and that will kill off the rest of it. McLeod will get it. Ferretti is back on. Wes McLeod now to Tattoo. Tattoo's played in 46 games this year, and in only 4 of those games has he been held scoreless, including the last one. He had a 16-game scoring streak snapped against San Diego. Looking to start another one tonight. Tattoo off to Kevin Smith. Again, it's Tattoo, working it back to Smith, an original sidekick like Tattoo. Still holding it. He'll draw a crowd. They're going to try to give and go off Ferretti. The turnaround stopped by Dowler. Not a bad idea by Bruno Ferretti. With Tattoo making the run to support him.
Dowler again looking very sharp as he had to reach back. He was leaning a little bit to the far post because that's where the dangerous pass can be placed. And he reaches back so quickly and with such agility.
And he's got to know that Tattoo's coming down on his other side. Here's a lead pass to Doyle. Trying to get it off the boards, and Lawson put it up there. A look at the doctor, the indoor warrior. He has been around. He's an original. Played with you on the Cincinnati Kids.
The only active player to have played in all 12 seasons of the MISL. He's looking for his 100th career goal. He's at 99 for his career totals.
The 1990 MISL All-Stars, the graphic told you, that makes 5 All-Star appearances for Lawson. Goossens ready to kick it in, right through the goal, and he scores, and that's the way they're supposed to work. Kansas City leads 1-0. So David Doyle will get it from Jan Goossens, 30th of the year.
Goossens really does this well. He splits Tattoo and Kevin Smith, gets it through. Doyle times his run well, is able to slip it past Michael Powers, but that's the splitting pass, and Doyle's in the right place and does the right thing. All he has to do is side-foot it to change the direction of it. He doesn't need to overpower it. It's just get a foot on it and direct it towards the goal.
David Doyle, 30th goal of the season. What a year he has had. He had 22 goals last year. Came from a small college, Campbell. Signed to a 10-day tryout, as I recall, a few years ago, then another 10-day, and really was impressive that year. Then last year played his first full year, and this year he's come on like gangbusters. Here's Dowley giving it to McLeod. Comets, the road team, with a 1-0 lead. Flicked by Tedek. Lawson trying and does cut it off for Tattoo, who's not had any room thus far tonight. But the game's young. Here's McLeod. Disappearing almost from view. He gets it out to Lawson. Lawson, number 22 for Dallas. Looking for that 100th career goal. Gets around one man. Trying to play it across with the left foot, and Bonchek made a nice block. Lawson battling with Tedek. Upfield, Dolly will get it right back, and he'll give it to Wes McLeod.
I would have had a good laugh if Doc Lost with his 100th goal came with his left foot.
Most have come from that right. Here's Dolly. At this point, he doesn't care which foot. Here's Tattoo, sending it through, and it went off Kevin Smith. It looked like it was behind Dowler. Here's Kevin Smith holding it well against those boards. Getting free, cuts it out to Tattoo. He's got a little more room, but watch Mitchell come in. Now Tattoo with a shot, a rising shot, and got out of there. You won't see one man ever mark Tattoo. There'll always be some help defense there.
Well, he draws a great deal of attention, and you can't leave one player with him consistently over the course of a night, because at some point he's going to beat that guy, and the guy's going to need some help, and you see the help coming in all the time. 2 and 3 players focusing their attention on Tattoo, and look at why. Look at these statistics.
He is a 5-time All-Star, 73 goals a few years ago. Then the next year, first game against Tacoma, right where they had won the championship the year before, he breaks his leg, and it took him the rest of that year. He had only played the one game, and he actually scored a goal in that game. And then last year he came back and did not get Tattoo-like numbers, but numbers that most any player would love to take in contract time. This is Doyle. He has the only goal thus far. Milano will give it back to Papaleo. And did it come back? It came back from the red line. And he's not allowed to do that.
The Sidekicks had possession in the neutral midfield area and brought the ball back towards Papaleo, and he's not allowed to pick it up at that point.
That pass comes in for that neutral zone. He cannot use his hands even though he is in the box.
Or even if it's a series of passes.
Yes. Goosens to Wallace, blocked by Salgado. And that's a good thing because Wallace's shot looked labeled there. Wallace has had some injury problems this year, and they could use a healthy Barry Wallace down the stretch drive for first place, which is still a goal of the Comets. They're a game behind Baltimore as we speak. Cut out now by Goosens to Rundved. Rundved giving it up now to Barry Wallace. Rundved in his first year as captain of this club. Snyder got in the way nicely of David Doyle. Still 1-0. Comets with the lead. Here comes Milano. Up on the right side, Salgado. Into the corner. Picked up there by Wallace. Knocked off the boards, but Tom Kane is there. But converted forward, playing a bit at the back now. Rundved. Knocking it all the way back to Wallace. Greg Ion out there with Barry Wallace. This is a very versatile team. Wallace can play midfield, so can Ion. Kane can play anywhere. They have several players that can make that adjustment. Back to the feet of Mike Dowler. Dowler came into this game 4th in the MISL in goals against average. Doing well thus far. Shutting out the Sidekicks. Still with a couple of minutes and change left in the opening quarter from Dallas. 1-0. Kansas City with the ball and the lead. Ian Fraser. Fraser's pass, looking, there's Eck from Greg Ion. Ted Eck played some of the U.S. national team outdoors this past summer. Off the boards, Ion tried to send it to Goosens, but McLeod had him tied up a bit. And Wes McLeod trying to settle things down for the Sidekicks. McLeod, a 32-year-old from Canada, giving it up now to Snyder. Troy Snyder's scored 9 goals for this team this year, but a third of those goals have really done the job for this club. They've won games for Dallas. Snyder started out indoors with the Minnesota Strikers. Over midfield. Plays it up for Tattoo. There's Rundved on him. He beats him. Tattoo shot just off the post. And I'll tell you, when you beat Kim Rundved, you're beating one of the best. He's got another crack. Tattoo draws the double team and goes over the boards. Marty Templin coming over. Just a foul. He may have helped that one along the glass.
Just a Tattoo sandwich, too. You'll see here. He's so strong on the ball. Quick shot with the toe, but then he's trying to follow it up. He's in there up against the boards and end up getting forced towards them.
And it's cleared off a deflection out of play. The ball belongs now to Kansas City. Mike Dowler calling for it. Tattoo, that's when you appreciate how great a player he is, when you see the kind of play he goes up against, the way he gets hit, the way he comes back up, and still manages to score those goals. You have to respect him a lot more as a player.
Well, you have the explosiveness, the change of pace, the change of speed that I talked about. He's suddenly, you think you have him under control, all of a sudden he's gone. You try and step back in, maybe bump him, and he's too strong. He's already on his way.
He can go with his right foot, he can go with his left foot, he can dribble, he can pivot, he can do it all. Mike Dowler now putting it back in play for the Comets. Less than a minute to go, first quarter. Kansas City with a 1-0 lead over Dallas. Salgado giving it up to Lawson. Salgado doing some running, some defensive running, and now Tattoo comes on when Dallas wins the ball. Lawson across now to Powers. So much of the Dallas offense is geared to getting the ball to Tattoo, making those runs, but Kansas City knows that too, and they're defending it well thus far.
Well, similar to Preki in Tacoma, you'll see Tattoo put a lot of minutes on the floor, many more than just the 30 minutes that most players might play as they're changing with someone else.
He played it across and it was blocked. And the thing to note about Tattoo, though, is he plays it at high intensity. He's not out there kind of hanging around waiting for something to happen. He'll make it happen. Here's Doyle. He tries to make it happen, but that shot goes up and into the crowd. Kansas City doing well here as the road team. They're not sitting back and absorbing things from Dallas. They're going at the Sidekicks early.
A team that's playing with a great deal of confidence. They've been the team, the dominant team, really, the last couple months in the Major Indoor Soccer League. They've really turned it up.
14 wins in their last 17 and 13 straight at home, which is a Kansas City sports record. Only the Royals have done that in 1977. You need some luck, but you need some skill to have any kind of a streak. And they've had both of that. Here's Eck. Now Lawson. 2 seconds left, that's it. Time will expire in the opening quarter of play. And here on the road, Mike Dowler and the Comets have taken the early jump. David Doyle has scored his 30th goal of the season. The assist going to Jan Goossens. 10:26 was the official time of that goal. And that's all we have thus far here in Dallas. But a lot more to come your way as we continue our coverage with the MISL here on ESPN. With the two teams at equal strength.
Timing and execution, Doyle does well with it, but it's Goossens who really sets the table for him as he split the two Dallas players. Tattoo was one of them, I believe it was Kevin Smith, the other one, who were the wall.
And this was after, as we look at David Doyle, this was after Kansas City had a man advantage. Right there, the two teams are at full strength. An equal strength goal for Doyle, his 30th of the year from Jan Goossens at 10:26, and Goossens continues to pad that lead in terms of assists. He leads the Major Indoor Soccer League in assists. He came in with 50 going into the game. Tattoo trailed him. Tattoo coming into this game at 46. Second quarter, and we are now underway again here in Dallas. Right side, this is Kevin Smith in the sidekick screen. Lawson in the corner, across the way. Kinsey on his first shift was taken down. And they're calling, let's see where Marty Tevlin's going to put it. Right at the top of the arc. And watch number 9 on this, Tattoo. Holding in the box as Kinsey tried to draw something. Tattoo ready. Cuts it across Lawson, and look out above as Lawson just went underneath it.
Well, I think Neely came out ahead on that situation as he just tied up Kinsey and Knotts right in the box when Kinsey had a legitimate chance to score, and I expected a stronger punishment for that play on Neely's part. Instead, there's no goal by Kinsey because Neely ties him up, and Lawson's shot was nowhere near the goal. So the Kansas City Comets a little bit fortunate in that situation.
Well, that ball was so far astray, they just got the ball back. Tattoo can't believe that shot either, right? It's nice to see him back. He is such a great spokesperson for the league. The autographs that he signs, he's obviously the most popular player in the MISL. And the game missed him that year. He was injured. He was gracious. He was courteous, even while on crutches with fans here. But you could tell it was eating at him not to be playing. Mitchell up now for Tedek. What a shot and what a save for Papaleo.
Best save of the game in my book because that one was taken quickly by Tedek. He brought it down well, cracked it low, and Papaleo really had to launch himself to his right to get over to him.
Tattoo to Lawson. Still 1-0 Kansas City, and the Doyle goal, his 30th of the year from Goossens. Lawson across the deflection. It may be Kinsey's goal, and it's tied at 1.
Well, Kinsey was deep in the box just earlier when he drew that foul from Neely. This time, he's able to put it away. It's Lawson who slots it through. He's just cracking the ball into the area. And what Kinsey is able to do is just redirect it with his foot behind his own leg. We see it here. He's backing into Neely and at the same time keeping a good position so that he can deflect this ball in behind Dowler.
Steve Kinsey's 15th goal of the year. He is just coming back. He's had some injury problems on the right knee, and in fact, he's still wearing the brace. But Kinsey is back into the lineup. Had a right knee sprain, and he missed the last game against San Diego. It's tied at 1. Let's see what that goal does to Dallas. Those are big scores when you score them inside the first minute of play. That was 45 seconds into the second when Kinsey scored from Lawson. Tied at 1 as Fraser plays it back to Dowler. Fraser was a question mark in this game. We've got something going on behind Joe Papaleo apparently as Marty Templin stops play. I was going to say Fraser was listed today as a question mark. His father suffered a stroke earlier this week. His father lives in Canada, and he went home. He was given permission to leave. So we weren't sure if he was going to play tonight, but he's out there. There's Kinsey walking it off. His 15th of the year from Lawson at 45 seconds. Number 18 there is Mark Carpin. If he plays tonight, it'll be his first game back since suffering a leg injury, and they miss him. I asked Billy Phillips today, how could they replace Mark Carpin? He says, you really can't replace a guy that plays so well at the far post. He had 35 goals last year, and he's always in the right place, and he moves so well without the ball to get himself open.
He's really a player that typifies this Dallas Sidekicks team. He's a hard worker. He comes to play each and every night, but he's been out now for 8 weeks with that knee injury, so it's going to take him a little while maybe to get back those game legs.
Dowler is okay. I think somebody threw something out on the floor, and that's why the reason for the bit of a delay over there. Well, the action resumes. Here's Barry Wallace going long. Beto headed it away. Good thing because Goosens was breaking free.
And Beto covered well for Wes McLeod, because Wes McLeod is really the one that's marking up on Goosens. He got caught a little bit out of the play, and it was Beto who came back and did the job for him.
Dallas continues to make those changes. Salgado comes out, and then Tattoo goes on. Now it's Milano getting it. Milano across the line. Has Snyder to the left. Troy Snyder taken down by Fraser. And a foul is going to be called on Ian Fraser. Sidekicks will be putting it in play. Beto sending it out. Here's McLeod, and what a save in midair there as Dowler leaped to his left. Long throw. That's how the goalkeeper helps the offense. Doyle was stopped by Papaleo. So the goalkeeper starting to shine in Dallas. Tattoo is open. Takes the shot, blocked by Fraser. That had to be a scary moment for Dave Clements on the Comets bench saying, how is this happening?
How's Tattoo got 10 yards to work with all the way at the opposite end of the field?
Forget about why is there only one guy on him. Why is there no one on him as we look at Papaleo? He's earning his money with the last couple of saves. Shots show Kansas City doubling Dallas. That's your total shots going into the second quarter. First quarter was 11-5, Kansas City's edge. Kinsey had gone 8 games without a goal, but he's had some problems injury-wise. Ball played back, and Dowler is right there. So we've seen each goalkeeper come up big. Over the last few minutes, the game's starting to open up more. Remember that slow start we have, but we're not seeing that now.
Now both teams really going for the jugular as we see the Sidekicks come forward.
Here comes Kinsey running free. The shot almost tipped in off Rundved. And Rundved will run it back the other way. Over 400 points in his missile career. To the right side, Powers fell down, and Mitchell buries it. He took advantage of Powers slipping, and it's 2-1 Kansas City on a Mitchell score.
The game's opening up for certain. You see chances at either end. Here Mitchell has a lot of space to work with, and not a great angle, but not that bad of one either. Rundved had dished a very nice ball over to him. Powers stumbled a bit, and what a marksman Dale Mitchell is. He catches that upper part of the net with a rifle with the right foot.
Well, the great goal scorers, as you know, take advantage of any opportunity. I don't know what Mitchell would have done had Powers been able to keep his feet, but once he saw it, you said go for the jugular. He did right there.
He did. He waited till he felt he had the right stride to strike this ball, and also to get Papaleo perhaps to start moving towards that near post before he put it to the other side.
Mitchell from Rundved at 2:52. Mitchell's 43rd goal of the year. Here's Beto. Nice cut outside. Off the boards. Tattoo didn't get all of it. In fact, he didn't get even most of it.
He had to reach back for that one. If he could have seen it earlier, he might have got his body up off the ground in order to get into a better position.
See in the battle for it along those boards. Playing it now to Tattoo. Wallace doesn't want to let him go to the middle, but he missed him. Tattoo cutting. Outside to Beto. Beto in for Kinsey. He didn't handle the pass. He still may have a crack. Now he is cracked by Hundelt, and a foul called by Herb Silva.
I'm impressed, though, tonight with Steve Kinsey's ability to be deep in the Kansas City box and still create problems, because normally there's so many defenders in there not giving you an inch that you can't operate, but he's been in there like 3 times already in this game.
He had 2 great years with Minnesota, and since then has had some injury problems with Los Angeles and now Dallas. Tattoo, and Dollar knows this could be dangerous. They're on their feet here in Dallas, looking for this one. Tattoo, the shot is blocked out of play, but there should be a corner kick coming up. It was last touched by the Comets. We look at number 9, Tattoo.
Tattoo, a native of Brazil. He's been in Dallas now. This is his 6th season, and he's adopted this city, and they've adopted him.
He is as popular as any athlete in the Dallas area, and his name recognition is big time, especially with that youngster watching.
Now the young people here in Dallas love him. He's dynamic.
Here's Beto running over, and Tattoo trying to send it across. It's blocked. He gets it out for Lawson. Lawson holding it. Still with it, a left footer for Kinsey. The shot saved. Dowler came from the left side all the way to the right to cut the angle.
Tremendous pass by Doc Lawson to get it all the way to the back post to Kinsey. Unlucky for Kinsey, he couldn't hit it first time. He had to take 1 touch. In that split second, Dowler was able to shift back into position.
Lawson giving it up now to Beto. Back for Wes McLeod at midfield. Over to Kinsey. A 2-1 lead for the Comets. Mitchell, the 2nd leading goal scorer in the MISL, just scored his 43rd. Off a deflection, it's Dowler. Holding on. Played the last couple of years with Tacoma in the MISL, and before that was a fixture with Wichita. Had 4 straight 20-win seasons. That's tough to do. Long pass. Bonchek. Against him is McLeod. Wes McLeod won the battle and the war. Bonchek knocked it away, but he fouled him. And Marty Templett's got to make that call, otherwise he's going to give an advantage the other way.
But it's difficult to hear the whistle. Everybody's on their feet here. An excellent crowd at the Reunion Arena.
The Sidekicks have brought some people into this building, averaging almost 9,000 a game during the regular season. Tattoo, right side. Dolly fakes well to Tattoo. He's open, now he's blocked. A deflection of Dolly. He tried to find Tattoo again. That time, Dolly should have pulled the trigger. You can look too much for Tattoo, and that was the case there with Dolly. He had that shot, and no one, Tattoo wouldn't have been upset at him if he takes the shot when he did. McLeod will give it up to Dolly. Holding it. He made a nice cut on that first try, too. 9:40 to go, 2nd quarter. 2-1, Comets are leading over the Dallas Sidekicks. John Paul Dellacamera along with Ty Keough. Hope you're enjoying the MISL on ESPN as Wallace bumped into Tattoo and draws the foul. McLeod will give it up to Tattoo, 50 feet from goal. Wallace against him. Doyle helping. They don't want to overplay Tattoo. They give him a little bit of room, but Wallace is being careful. Tattoo to the outside. McLeod trying to create some movement, trying to get free himself, and he's open now. Tattoo trying to split it through to get it to Kevin Smith. Blocked. Tattoo will get it back.
But Doyle providing his support for Wallace as Wallace matches up with Tattoo. That's textbook example of defensive play.
Here's Tattoo.
You see it again right here. As Doyle staggers himself just behind Wallace at a 45-degree angle, just close enough to help should Wallace come under pressure from Tattoo's dribbling.
Smith outside of McLeod. They're not trying to pressure Tattoo when he has the ball. They're trying to let him make the first move, but they're giving themselves a chance.
You don't want to get too close to him because he can use his body and his quickness to burn you.
That's why I was looking at the distance that Wallace was giving him. It was enough so that Tattoo knows he's a little bit open, but enough so that Wallace can make a recovery.
That's respect, because Tattoo's first couple steps are so quick. If you're in tight with him, he's behind you before you can react.
Barry Wallace gets a breather on the Comets bench.
What you do risk, however, in that situation is giving Tattoo enough time and ability to look up to maybe spot someone else perhaps at the far post, and he can do that.
And the thing that everyone forgets about Tattoo is he's got 46 assists, so even though he's got a lot of goals, he passes that ball off, and it's the great runs that his teammates have made that have made Dallas an offensive threat this year. You talked about them defensively. That ball was played back to Dowler, and that was the series of passes that you were talking about, not one.
Yes.
Judging by that look, Dave Clemens knows it.
Right. That last pass can be from your own zone, but if it came from a teammate from the midfield zone, the neutral zone, it's still a violation.
Tattoo is ready, and Kansas City better be. Tattoo slides it to Powers, and is blocked. Mitchell on the run. Tattoo having to come back against Hundelt. Hundelt can fly. He's got some good wheels. Mitchell will hold. Tackled away. Beto got a piece. Mitchell's so good with his back to goal at shielding a ball. Now the left side, it's Doyle. Mitchell broken up, and now it's Kinsey. Starting to think back here. I haven't seen Goosens in a bit. There's Beto coming back the other way. Over the line. This shot was wide. Tattoo in the corner. Takes a block there from Hundelt. They get it back. Tattoo knocked away by Hundelt, but McLeod picks up. Here's Lawson into the corner. Neely is after with Lawson. They battle. Rundved in there as well. Bodies fly, and it's going against Doc Lawson. Look at that quick restart from Rundved, and Hundelt has a lot of room. Lawson has to hustle back. Hundelt lost it when he made that stutter step. He knew that Goosens was open. Made that one pick. I think Hundelt was out of gas. He was at the end of his shift. And
he definitely was. He was almost falling down, because really the only way to get the ball into Goosens is to play that ball much earlier than he did.
There's Snyder. And as we said, I hadn't seen Goosens in a while, but he's out there now. 7:03 to go. Second quarter, 2-1 Kansas City. I was saying before, I want to finish a point, Dallas always strong defensively. Now they're second in the league in terms of goal scoring, and that's been a difference in this team. And it's not just because of all the Tattoo goals. Everyone else is way below him, but they have 5-6 guys in double figures with goals scored. So they're now a threat offensively as well as defensively.
You just look at Beto and Kinsey. They're always contributing. Kevin Smith is just such a steady cog in this whole Dallas Sidekicks team.
And like basketball, as we see the foul here, like basketball, a lot of the Dallas offense comes from their defense and their transition. When they win balls and they come upfield, they find that man Tattoo open, and everybody runs, supports. They're an unselfish team. They know that they've got to feed him, and lots of times that can cause dissension, but the players know, in this case, that he's been their meal ticket and he's delivered.
And Kevin Smith may be their biggest unsung hero in terms of the man that's constantly feeding the ball into Tattoo and supporting him.
All the way out to Tattoo. It helps to know, though, that he gives it back, and here he comes, trying to play it across, and it was blocked. He was looking for Smith. Comes all the way back the other way to the neutral zone. We're down to 6 minutes, second quarter, 2-1, Kansas City. The visiting team leading here in Dallas. Comets have come in, and on the road, they have not done as well as at home with a 7-16 mark. Long pass in for Tattoo, and Rundved heads it out.
Kansas City, however, has won 4 out of their last 6 on the road, so they've turned that around. They struggled early, definitely, in terms of road wins.
2-1, the Comets on the strength of Dale Mitchell's 43rd goal of the year. Just about a couple of minutes after Dallas scored, and the Comets have that lead. They don't tell you how many of them were strong as Kansas City leads 2-1.
Well, we're really being treated here to some great attacking indoor soccer. The keepers have really kept the score down because it has been wide open. We're seeing plenty of chances, deflections out in front, bodies flying. So these guys have had to be sharp, both Capoleo and Dowler.
Ball will be restarted by Kevin Smith on that far side. Smith over on that right wing will just run over it for Lawson. Off the boards, Tattoo! And he just put it over Dowler. That one might have taken a strange bounce off him off of those boards. Those are ones that he knows he loves to finish.
Well, he's disappointed, not so much that he didn't score, but that he didn't get it on goal. Because once you get it on goal, just about anything could happen. You could get a rebound. You could perhaps catch Dowler not seeing it well, that type of thing. So if you see the disappointment on his face, it's because he didn't get down over that ball and at least put it on goal.
Dowler will put it back in play. Dowler's been hot. We told you at the top he's won 7 in a row, but how about 9 of his last 10 as well? He's also won 15 out of his last 19. A lot of that obviously coming down the stretch drive. That's been a major factor in Kansas City, contending for first place in the Eastern Division. Mark Carpin is out on the floor. His first shift, and the public address announcer recognizes that, and that's why he'll get an ovation.
First shift in 8 weeks.
Beto. Now those far boards. Salgado. Carpin plays well also as a target man with his back to goal. And if there's a rebound, watch out for him. He's going to get it. Salgado.
The guys all tease him. He's got like size 12s on, so of course he's going to get a foot on any loose ball in front of the goal.
Salgado takes a bump from Wallace. Outside to Powers. Mike Powers dumping it into the corner. And Dowler will get it, and having to jump over him was Salgado. Salgado's a local player. Grew up in this Dallas area and played his high school ball there. Greg Ion looking long for Mitchell. Down to 4.5 to play in the second quarter, 2-1. Comets are leading the Dallas Sidekicks. This is Salgado coming back. Salgado just 20 years old.
He's a player that the Sidekicks have been developing. Tattoo spends a lot of time with him after practice working on certain moves.
Dowler came out trying to deny Lawson, who's looking for that 100th career goal indoors. Here's Tattoo. To the outside on Tedek, pushing it for Beto, looking for Tattoo. It's blocked, a couple of deflections. Unlucky ones though for Dallas. Here comes Tedek.
Kansas City had 5 players deep in their own box trying to keep that ball out.
Lawson looking for Tattoo. Schiraldi on for his first shift. Tattoo probably knows that as he turns, and it's blocked partially by Schiraldi.
There's the quick turn and the quick release of the shot. Just not enough smoke on it to get it past Dowler.
Coming back the other way. Bonchek. Schiraldi, one of several Comets bothered by some nagging injuries. Here's a turnaround for Goosens, and that's blocked. Papaleo rolling it to Milano. Willie Milano. Lead pass for Kevin Smith. Smith will bring it up right side. He'll give it back up. Wes McLeod from Snyder. Now to Milano. Tattoo and Smith trying to get free around the box. Tattoo draws the crowd, gives it up. Milano shot, score! Dallas has tied it.
Well, when you can draw a crowd like only Tattoo can, there's bound to be someone open. And on this one, it's Milano. Tattoo just heel flicks it out. And Milano puts it away. Dowler nearly got to it. Milano started it, played it into the corner to Tattoo. Tattoo, the heel flick. Milano with the left foot. It deflects slightly off a Dowler, but it carries on into that far side of the net.
We hadn't seen a goal in some 9 minutes, but that one by Milano ties it. His 6th of the year from Tattoo. We are even in Dallas.
To make more money, sure, we all do.
Tattoo, and not only is he getting more playing time with Dallas, but he's responding and scoring some goals for them, and that's big time for Willie Milano. 2-2 as Wallace sends it long. Hundell started his career with the St. Louis Steamers. It's blocked, loose in the box, and Goosens was partially blocked by McLeod. Here's Milano. Dolly to the right. Salgado to the left. He's got good wheels, but Dowler cut him off. Big play for Dowler. He won't get a save there, but he stops a shot from taking place. Kevin Hundell will play it back to Wallace. 2:38 to go in the first half, and it's tied at 2. These two teams, we said before, match up well against one another. A loose ball of McLeod will clear it away. Dallas leads in the season series 4-2, but 3 of them have been decided by 1 goal, and 2 have gone into overtime.
Kansas City has not won in this building this year.
They've had 3 tries at it. This will be their last. Get a foul on the Sidekicks. And so Kansas City on the restart. And Goosens wants a timeout. Each team is entitled to 1 per half, and if they don't use their second half timeout, it could carry over in a sudden death overtime, but the first half timeout is not carried over into the second half, so oftentimes coaches don't even use it. The fouls don't mean as much this year, Ty, because they did away with the 6 fouls, but it shows you the scrappiness there of the Comets in this one. A lot of those fouls come when you mark Tattoo.
That's one of the only ways to really slow him down, other than double teaming him, as we've seen the Comets do. So you're bound to pick up fouls when you're playing against a player of those offensive capabilities.
Look at Dallas as they talk things over. Billy Phillips, a former goalkeeper. In fact, give you a little history on Billy. He won the first game ever for this Sidekicks team. They beat the old Cosmos indoors. 9-2 was the final score in that one. And he's a former goalkeeper as well with the St. Louis Steamers, and as we said earlier, played under Dave Clemens.
One of the secrets of the success of this Dallas Sidekicks team is continuity, and here you have a guy who's a former player who's now the coach. Here's the quick break by Dallas. Milano tried to slide the ball through to Salgado. Salgado, a very strong run, but Dollar reads it well, comes outside of his box, a well-executed slide tackle to clear the ball out of danger.
And now the other way, there's danger for Joe Papaleo, because he's looking at a restart to be taken by Goossens. Time on the upper corner of your screen shows 2:16 to go in the first half. Even at 2. Goossens played it out, blocked. Here's a Wallace quick shot, and Beto got a block on that one. A look at Beto, who has done well for this team. You'll see him get real excited if he scores a goal. You'll like the Beto shuffle. But first, he's got to score.
Well, Beto knows he's fortunate that he blocks that shot just after it's off of Wallace's foot, before he can really pick up that speed and power and be higher up on his body.
Wallace ready to put it back in play now for the Comets. In the corner, blocked by Powers. Broken up. A loose ball across, and it's just behind Mitchell. Snyder and Doyle in the battle. Powers went from one side of the field to the other. Great work rate from Powers. Kinsey is blocked. On the left side of the field, it's Mitchell trying to get it around Beto. Tattoo looks for some support on the run. Snyder to his right. Kinsey left. Tattoo poking it ahead to Kinsey, then he lost it. Kinsey right back out to Tattoo. Goossens trying to overtake him and then go the other way. There's the double team. Tattoo giving it up along those boards. Here's Snyder, and he got free for the moment, pushing it out to Kevin Smith. Didn't handle it the first time. He'll try a second time. Snyder to Tattoo. Look at how he can hold off Wallace. Tattoo off the boards. Deflected once, and then Wallace clears it out. Tattoo built low to the ground, has that good center of gravity, and it's tough to push him. It's tough to hold him, and he can hold you off.
Well, it's really amazing when you think about it, the established scorers in the league, people like Tattoo, people like Goossens and Mitchell, and particularly Tattoo, because he's not a big man in terms of stature. They're marked men. Guys are out to kick them, foul them, slow them down any way they can, but they continue to score goals anyway. You have to have a lot of respect for a guy who can have that much attention paid to him and still produce.
You could probably see an imaginary bullseye in the back of Tattoo. That's what it must feel like at times with Tattoo. He goes up against the greatest defenders in his league, and they give it all they have.
Well, the great players are able to do that. Pelé was a marked man for 20 years in international soccer and still scored goals.
Didn't stop him. Here's Lawson. A couple of fakes will bring it out to Tattoo. A little bit of room, and Ion will change that. And look at Goossens trying to split the difference there and double team. Here's Tattoo in the corner. Now Goossens will come in, just like the trap in college basketball.
They just pinch over just enough to be able to help, but also still be aware of where their man is in case he makes that decisive move.
Kevin Smith with it. We're down to 18 seconds in the first half. Dallas has twice trailed by 1 goal, and twice they've tied it. Kinsey for Tattoo. Taken down by Wallace. And that one will be at the top of the arc.
Wallace really had no choice the way Tattoo had positioned his body. Really shielded the ball well and forced his way inside.
He's ready. Tattoo takes it, blocked by Goossens. Snyder coming back after it for Dallas. Looking for Kinsey, blocked by Ion. Time will expire in the first half of play. But a good first half of play. We had a slow start. First 3 or 4 minutes, a little bit sluggish. Both teams feeling each other out. Then the offense of both teams kicked in gear, and we saw a nice goalkeeping display between Joe Papaleo and Mike Dollar, and some nice goals. So at the end of the first half of play from Dallas, it is Dallas 2 and Kansas City 2. Seen 4 very fine goals. We're going to show them to you in just a little bit, but I thought Keough, the goalkeepers, were the show in the first half.
Well, just an all-around entertaining game. You've got 2 teams playing very near the top of their form, and the goalkeepers came up with save after save.
Let's take a look at the goals that were scored, and David Doyle gets it started for Kansas City.
Off of a restart, it's Goossens who sets it up. Doyle steps in. Powers nearly deflected it out of there, but Doyle puts it away to the far side with just a side foot pass. Then the Sidekicks, it was their turn to come back. Doc Lawson over near the right boards. He hammers one in there, and it's Kinsey who just deflects it in behind Dowler. Kansas City again, a quick break. Rodfed coming forward. He'll dish the ball off to Mitchell. Mitchell will have plenty of time because Michael Powers did slip, and Mitchell just hammers the ball. He roofs it into the top of the net. A tremendous finish and a nice ball by Rodfed when he dished it off. And then to knot the score, it's the Sidekicks. It's McLeod over to Milano. Milano finds Tattoo in the corner. Tattoo's all tied up, but look how resourceful he is with the heel flick. He gets it back out in front to Milano. He's so aware that Milano started the play and was following it up.
Kansas City led by 1 goal on 2 different occasions, and the Dallas Sidekicks were able to come back. They tied it up at 2 goals apiece. Mitchell has scored one of his goals, but so far, Goossens and Tattoo have not scored a goal, and that might change. We still have at least 30 minutes to go.
Well, I would think so, based on the record so far, and Tattoo really wants to do it for this home crowd.
Tattoo has kept another scoring streak alive. It seems like all of the numbers favor Tattoo. This is his 22nd game that he's played in his career against Kansas City. He has scored at least a point in each one of those games. 2-2 from Dallas. We'll have the second half when we come back. The saves that Dowler made, he had 9 compared to 4 for Papaleo. In the second half is seconds underway. The first shot almost beat Papaleo. That would have been a tough way for the Sidekicks to come out of the dressing room. That would have been quick, to say the least. Coming back, Dowler makes a save. That last shot happened so quick, we were on a graphic. I didn't see who took it, Ty, but last week Bruno Ferretti scored 9 seconds into the game. That one would have been quicker. I looked up at the clock, and I saw 6 seconds had gone by. Lawson is blocked, but he'll get it back. We're told that Papaleo suffered a slight bruise on his right hip when he dove to make a save in the first half, but he's all right and playing. Here comes Doyle. Comets with the ball. They've led on 2 different occasions by 1 goal. Up to Mitchell. Mitchell looks for some help. Wanted Ion. Carpet headed it away. Doyle blocked by Powers, but right on the foot of Ion. To Mitchell. Mitchell pulls it back out, back in, blocked by Snyder. Seeing Carpet out there now makes me think that when he came on in the latter stages of the first half was just to loosen him up, that maybe Billy Phillips is going to give him a good goal this half.
Well, he's the kind of player that can rise to the occasion, and many times when a player's been out for a long time, even though he hasn't trained much, he's so fired up he can do something.
Wallace knocked that one too high and out of play. But what a start we've had to the second half. In the first half, the first 3-4 minutes or so, it was back and forth and feeling each other out, and already there's been 4 decent chances to score here.
Both teams very eager to pick up right where things left off in that first half, because it has been an up and down game. There's been neither team really hesitating to go forward and take some risks.
Papaleo will be putting it back in play. Papaleo and Sobieski, the goalkeeping tandem here, reunited. They were together in Pittsburgh for a bit in the mid-'80s. Right side Rundvedt off the boards, right back to Mike Dowler, whose other goalkeeper, Jim Gorsuch, who they've split assignments with this year, had some kind of intestinal problems this morning, some kind of a flu bug, and let him know very early in the morning that he wasn't able to make this trip.
So in effect, if Dowler's injured, they'd have to use a field player as the goalkeeper.
On the restart, that foul called on the Comets. Snyder will play it back to Wes McLeod. And now it's Beto. 10 goals in his last 14 games, and some of those have been big ones for Dallas. McLeod. Long pass, that's off the mark, and now it's Nealon. Got by the first man, Milano. Good recovery by Milano, but Greg Ion will still keep it in play. Takes a long shot wide of Papaleo. Papaleo a little slow to get down there. I'm wondering if the hip is not really bothering him, maybe.
I don't think he expected the shot. It was an early shot. Ion didn't really, he disguised it pretty well. He didn't give it away that he was going to shoot, even though he was out at the red line, and I think that's really what caught Papaleo unaware.
Well, we'll see if it happens again, then I'd start to wonder about it.
Well, he did test himself just after it on his footing and his reactions. He must be feeling some pain.
Rundvedt blocked by McLeod, but straight out, and Wallace missed.
Tattoo may have saved a goal as he partially blocked that shot.
Yeah, Wallace very deadly from there, and he saw an opening. Here's Beto, still tied at 2. Third quarter, 12:40 to go. Tattoo cutting, sending it in wide. Rundvedt missing it, And now Milano slides it back out to Lawson.
A little bit of frustration creeping into Tattoo's play. Things just not working out for him. He's trying a few desperation shots.
Beto in the corner is blocked by Ion. And now out for Lawson. Lawson bringing it in over the line. Picking him up is Mitchell. Off the boards, but Dowler is right there. Dowler with a short pass. This is Rundvedt going long for Goossens. McLeod picking him up. Goossens trying to play it across. Blocked by Tattoo. Two of the superstars of this league in the battle of the Tattoo wins. Great push to the outside to beat Frazier. A shot, score! Tattoo! Well, normally he throws that jersey in the crowd. Maybe he wants to get his teammates to celebrate with him first, but that's normally what happens here in Dallas. There was no frustration about that move.
Exactly, just when I said he's shooting in desperation, he pulls off a brilliant individual effort. The fans love it as he tosses his shirt to all the Dallas Sidekick people who cherish a Tattoo shirt. He's winded from all the celebration as much as the goal, but what a finish and a great move.
And we'll show you that great goal unassisted when we come back to Dallas, but the Sidekicks lead for the first time tonight.
It's everything the other way. Taking off is Mitchell. He has Doyle on his right side. He's able to set him up perfectly, but look at Snyder. The last second gets his toe in there to save the day on a goal. And then Goossens with a chance here as he splits Doc Lawson and Wes McLeod. He winds up. It's heavy and hard, but Papaleo is able to get his body behind it.
There's a look at Joe Papaleo. Second to Scott Manning in goals against average by just a few percentage points. This is his 10th straight game with Sobieski injured. They're looking at having two goalkeepers ready for the upcoming playoffs. And the magic number for Dallas is 2 to win their first ever division title. Even when they won the championship in 86-87, they were a third place team. Here's Doyle looking. Mitchell was behind Lawson. He'll get it back, but he didn't get enough on it. And Dale Mitchell would love another crack at that.
And he probably had just a little bit more time than he thought because Lawson was still a little bit off balance and turned around. Had Mitchell been aware of that, he could have taken his time and really picked his corner.
Kinsey and Neely. Now for Beto. Doug Neely, an ex-Laser, played there last year. Broken up. Kinsey holding it back, pulled it back nicely to relieve some pressure. Powers will wait for Lawson to support him to the right. Powers' left-footed shot is blocked. Carpin chasing it down with Lawson. They almost ran into each other. Now it's Powers for Salgado. Back out to Powers, the MISL veteran defender. Knocked ahead, intended for Mitchell, but Lawson is there. Tattoo getting ready to come out.
Powers, one of the players named to his first MISL All-Star team just this last February.
Here's Tattoo, knocking it in. He wanted Carpin, and Rundvedt reacted well. Mitchell, good job of juggling, and here he comes. Dale Mitchell to the outside, leaving it off. Picked up by Kane, and now out to Rundvedt. Right side, Frazier coming through. The shot, a great diving save for Papaleo. That was a heavy shot.
Well, that was even a tougher save than it looked because Powers had Papaleo screened. I don't think he saw the shot by Frazier until it was past the first defender, and then he had to react.
Papaleo catching up to Dowler in saves. And both goalkeepers have made some spectacular ones here. Tattoo drew 3 players as he spins around. He got nailed there. Take your pick. I think Rundvedt got him as Tattoo appeals for it.
Now we're going to need some calls here because things will start to get out of hand. Some of the bring downs and takedowns that we've seen here. Tattoo takes a shoulder there from Rundvedt and an elbow. If you remember earlier, Rundvedt tackled him from behind in the corner. So these things are starting to all add up.
That's another legal substitution on the Dallas bench. Billy Phillips is upset. Herb Silva was on that opposite side. There was an illegal substitution made there. That's the second time that that's happened tonight for Dallas, and that's why Billy Phillips is upset.
And Phillips can't believe it because at this point in the game, this is something that could really turn things the other way. At the moment, Dallas has taken the lead. They've had some of the momentum, and they've also been able to survive some great chances by the Kansas City Comets.
So Dallas will be a man down. We're going to go back and see what saves are all about.
There's the big save of Papaleo. Frazier hits it, and it goes over Powers, so Papaleo doesn't really get a good look at it until it's quite close to him. And boy, some acrobatics as he launched himself to his right, got up there and put it away.
Papaleo, one of the first guys to really take a stand with the indoor-outdoor game. Remember, the Cosmos drafted him, and he signed indoors to play with the Pittsburgh Spirit after a great career with Syracuse. Now Mark Carpin will sit out that 2-minute minor penalty. Oftentimes you'll see in the MISL, you'll sit some of your star players in the box because as soon as that penalty's over, there's a guy that knows what to do with the ball coming out.
Especially an attacking player.
How many times have we seen goals come out of that? Mitchell, a heavy shot, and Papaleo is there. Snyder. This could be a turning point either way in this game because Dallas was starting to build on something. And Papaleo was making some big saves, but now Kansas City with a chance at a power play. 6th-ranked power play in the MISL, and a chance here to tie things up. Doyle leads them with 5 power play goals. Off the boards, Papaleo with a save there. Here's Rundvedt to the outside. Mitchell, Goossens, blocked, and Ion had it deflected, I thought, by Beto. Now with Rundvedt being out there, it reminds me of the fact that Rundved's name to the All-Star team this year makes it unprecedented that anyone has made it to 9 consecutive All-Star games. At one time, Jungle was there, and Rundvedt was right behind him, and then Jungle didn't make it the last year, and Rundvedt did, so it's 9 straight. Outside now to Wallace. Rundvedt again. He's the quarterback out there. Now it's Goossens right across off a deflection. He wanted Mitchell. Now it's Snyder. Looking long, and that one goes too far. Picked back up by Barry Wallace. Less than a minute to go in the power play. 3-2. Dallas leading it. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Mitchell cutting it to Wallace. Right back to Dale Mitchell. In the corner to Goossens. Right across. Wallace coming in late, and it's cleared away by Powers. Back to midfield. It's Dowler helping out the offense. 37 seconds left of the power play. 2:37 in the quarter. Wallace, Ion let it go to Goossens. Mitchell, heavy shot, and Papaleo knocked it out, but he wants to get it back down.
Well, you can't let that ball bounce in your box, so Papaleo did well to come straight back up and get his own rebound.
Now it's Rundvedt. Papaleo really getting a good feel for this game. He's made several big saves here. Coming across was Goossens, and there's Papaleo reaching out of the block. 5 seconds, and Carpin is out. Powers coming up. Carpin is out. Dallas have killed a penalty. That's twice that they've killed him here. Here's Carpin. And now it's played back to Mike Dowler. So they have killed 6 or 7 of their last 8 opportunities to defend against the man advantage. If they keep that up, their penalty killing will improve. It's been last all year. Here's Doyle. Across the line. Goossens. Powers had them all tied up, but there's no foul call. Now Tattoo took a nudge from Frazier. Up the boards they go. Loose ball gathered in by Frazier to Neely. Less than a minute and a half to go here in the third. Dallas by 1. Neely getting free off the boards, and Tattoo deadens it from Papaleo. Papaleo, 28-year-old goalkeeper, giving it up now to Powers. Tattoo almost had it knocked away by Doyle.
Almost too casual there, but he's so good on the ball and so strong that he was eventually able to shut everyone off from it.
Lawson shooting it. It's blocked by Bonchek. Less than a minute to go. And as it's played back to Dowler. They had a foul call against the Sidekicks. So it'll be a free kick, not a goal kick. Right side for Neely. And then back to Mike Dowler. Kansas City slowing it down now. 44 seconds to go in the third quarter. And now Dowler looks to throw for Mitchell. Headed out. Off the bench, I thought it hit somebody. Apparently not. Here's Mitchell. A shot saved for Papaleo. Along the boards. Kane blocked. Cleared away, but not out of danger yet. Lawson in the battle for it. He and Kane both go down, and Kane pushed him down.
Well, we're seeing something that the Sidekicks are known for. Two big defensive plays made just in the last couple of seconds by forwards. Kinsey there cleared a ball out that was in great danger for them, and Tattoo just before then was able to clear a ball away.
Lawson was looking for Smith. Broke it up, now it's Mitchell. Taken down by McLeod. Comets bench wanted a foul. It's sent the other way wide of Mike Dowler. Time will expire here in the third quarter. And when we come back for the fourth quarter, the Dallas Sidekicks will have a lead. But it's a close one. It is still anyone's game here in Dallas, a one-goal game, and right now it's the Sidekicks with the edge.
Kicks. It's Tattoo here, almost coast to coast. He steps in front of Goossens using his body. We'll see the top angle. He walks around Ian Frazier, and just before Neely can get there, he launches one to the opposite side and beats Dowler low. So Tattoo, what an individual effort, unassisted, to put his team up for the first time in this game.
That gave them a 3-2 lead, but then the rest of it was defense.
Well, Dallas Sidekicks and defense almost synonymous. Here's some action in front. Papaleo making just one of many saves, and the attack stays alive for the Kansas City Comets. Frazier gets it to Tom Kane. It's Kinsey, a forward who's all the way deep in his own end, saving the situation there. So again, the Dallas Sidekicks really holding on here and having to make defensive plays like that last one, because Kansas City has really been right down their throats.
And right now it's a one-goal game. Dallas has a great record when they lead up to three quarters. Kansas City has not lost this year when they've led after three. They're 20-0. When trailing after three, Kansas City, that's surprising though, that they're only 3-15 with their offensive firepower. Here's Kinsey knocking it back to Papaleo. Sending it long, intended for Kevin Smith. And now Frazier with a block. Kevin Smith doesn't miss many games for Dallas. In fact, he's played in 305, more than any other Sidekick. He missed one game last week to celebrate the birth of his son. And that was on March the 28th as we look at Kevin Smith, a former MISL All-Star player.
And the captain of the Dallas Sidekicks.
Son is Keegan Miles Smith. Here's Tedek. Down the left side. It's a 3-2 Dallas lead. Tell you, in one-goal games this year, Kansas City's won 16 of them. Got a handball on that far side boards. Lawson heading back for position. Very popular player here. In fact, he has his own trophy business here in Dallas. Has been very well established off the field, as well as a five-time MISL All-Star on the field. Former teammate of yours?
We go back a few years. Doc and I broke into the league at the same time back in the inaugural season, 78-79.
Here's Mitchell off the boards. Lawson gave it up to Papaleo. And Joe's looking to throw long. Very long for Dowley. Dowley in the corner, in the battle. Taken down by Wallace. Dowley fights to win it back. And then he took a foul from Frazier.
Frazier does lead the league in fouls. He's a hard-nosed defender.
Dowley was a find for this team. He had tryouts with St. Louis and Cleveland before coming to Dallas. Played in Yugoslavia's second division last year. Smith to Dowley. Dowley a cut on Wallace, and Wallace doesn't buy that fake, not for 1 minute. Here comes Mitchell. Dowley stepped in the way to win it, but to also create a foul. They introduce him here as Hello Dowley. Wallace will hold it now for the Comets. Giving it up to Frazier. Right up near midfield, Milano will try to pick him up. Frazier will go off for a switch, and they'll bring Doug Neely on. 3-2 Dallas leading it. This is the MISL here on ESPN. We hope you're enjoying tonight's action. I'm John Paul Dellacamera with Ty Keough. Tattoo's goal is the go-ahead goal, and the goal of record right now for Dallas. Beto has it blocked, and it comes back to Lawson. Tattoo leads the league in game-winning goals with 8. David Doyle of Kansas City is next with 7. Now McLeod slowing things down for Beto. I like to see teams play when they haven't played all week. They may start off a little slower because they're rusty, but then they go all out the rest of the way. Sometimes when you're playing 2 games in 2 nights, one of those teams gets tired come the fourth quarter. McLeod chasing it back down. Remember, Dallas's magic number is 2. If they were to win tonight and beat St. Louis here Sunday, they'd clinch their first ever division title, but that's easier said than done. St. Louis, a good team, especially for an expansion team, and they're trying to set an expansion team record for most wins. They've already done that with most road wins with 9.
And the way they look at it, they're fighting for that home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. They'll most likely be matched up with the San Diego Sockers, so that could be critical.
Well, if you're going to play San Diego, you definitely want home field advantage. Rundved will chase it down. A lot of people still think San Diego is going to be very strong come playoff time. They've got all of that experience going for them.
The defending champions, yep.
Rundved coming back against Tattoo. Ahead for Goossens. Lost it. Milano. It's 3-on-2. Milano leads it for Tattoo on the right. The shot is blocked by Dowler. And that may have looked like a bad angle, but I've seen him score more than a couple goals from that side.
He hopes to get the goalkeeper leaning perhaps over to that far post where he did have players in support, and then with the sheer velocity of the shot, beat the keeper at the near side.
Goossens, he saw an opening, he just didn't get it. Goossens in the corner, off the boards, and Smith had his man. Dallas does so many things well out there. Like a good basketball team that plays that help defense. They support one another with runs offensively. Defensively, they're in there as well to help one another.
Smith was positioned extremely well there. Not only did he have his man, but he had that dangerous area, that slot right out in front of the goal. Covered extremely well.
Smith, upfield for Kinsey. That's something, too, by the way, that covering up for each other, that kind of teamwork, that's something that Billy Phillips won't take credit for. They had that under Gordon Jago, and Phillips has been an extension of that. If anything, I think they're more of an offensive-minded team under Billy Phillips.
Well, it all adds up for the Dallas Sidekicks. They were the MISL champions in the 86-87 season, and when you think about it, they've got 8 players still in the team from that championship year.
That shot we just saw of Tattoo on the bench, he went to the bench, he got a little kick in the back of the ankle area, and limped off a little bit, but my money says he'll be out on the next shift. One of the hard knocks of indoor soccer, but he'll be back. 3-2 Dallas with the lead as Dowler comes out. Fraser, look at the pressure Dolly puts on. Upfield for Goossens. Goossens has played in 179 games with the Comets and has scored points in 168 of them.
At least 1 point.
Yeah, so you just think of that consistency again. That's what makes him such a great player. Here comes Lawson on the right. Ball not bouncing Doc's way. Now it might. Dowler comes out, though. Knocks it off the boards for Kevin Hundell. High off the glass it goes. McLeod has the angle on this. Doyle will try to cut that angle. Up for Carpin. Now to Beto. Leads it for Carpin. That's good teamwork. Carpin across, and it's blocked by Gino Schiraldi, the Comets' all-time leader in block shots. Beto hustling back. Doyle got a piece of that. It's blocked into the corner area. Doyle sends it across. He rushed that one, sensing Beto's presence around him. And the ball will just go back to Dallas, and he knows it. That picture tells you. He doesn't need a coach or anybody or another player to tell him what went wrong there. He knew it as soon as it left his foot.
He needs a breather, and he gave himself one by putting it out of bounds.
Doyle, as we mentioned, started things off tonight with his 30th goal of the year. Kansas City with just a wealth of offensive firepower. They were able to get rid of Keough and Jerry Gray, and it didn't affect them offensively because Doyle would score 30 goals for them. Long ball from McLeod. Carpin after it. Snyder heading into open space, but Neely is there. Tattoo is back out on the field. Ball played back to Mike Dowler. Coming out against Snyder. Blocked by Mark Carpin. Carpin being held, got free. I think they were playing the advantage that time because Carpin was still working the ball.
Well, Tattoo's always on the field in critical situations. They're just up by 1 goal. You got to have the feeling that even if he were in the intensive care unit, they'd roll him out here to play.
Snyder, but it was behind Mark Carpin.
Tattoo nearly got put in the intensive care unit there.
Yeah, it's got to be a plus if Dallas could win it and also give Carpin some playing time because he needs that. And they would love to have not only a healthy Mark Carpin, but a game-fit Mark Carpin once the playoffs start. Here's Mitchell, right on, but not enough speed on it to beat Papaleo. He was right there. Dallas, if they can clinch the Western Division, they draw a bye in the opening round. That'll give some injured players a chance to breathe a little bit. I'll tell you what the danger is in that. If a series goes the full length, and because of building conflicts, it's stretched, you hate to see a team sitting after being rewarded for finishing in first place. And that's happened. You'd
have that risk of going completely stale. And it's great to get people healed up, but you have to get out there and play sometimes in real competition.
Marty Templin over the MISL ball that has been changed from its original color. They used to call it the Rocket Red. It looked more like a burnt orange in black ball. Made it this better for television. Now it's Rudvan sending it long for Tom Kane. Nice job to Cheston. He wanted a volley, and Lawson gave him no room. Tight defense from Doc Lawson. Nearly pushed him down. And a restart coming up here for the Sidekicks. Coming back, Kevin Smith. Gets it by a couple of players, knocked away by the Comets. Still working for it. Now it's played back to Mike Dowler. Comets are the hottest team in the MISL. They've won 14 of their last 17. Trailing by 1 as Lawson plays it back to Papaleo. 7:54 to go. Fourth quarter. Sidekicks up by 1. Dowler to Mike Powers. Dallas playing without the injured Richard Chinapoo tonight. Here's Snyder wide open. Milano is as well. Snyder played it across. Milano doesn't really get a good ball, in fairness to Milano. He ends up with time, but not a crisp pass. I think it affected his timing when he received it.
Dowler came out and cut the angle to hurry him. Milano had to reach back for that one a little bit, and it did have a funny hop on it.
Milano does a good job with that. Snyder broke free. Here's Milano coming in. A shot save. Rebound Snyder. One block.
But there was no question there. Milano likes that left foot. He saw some daylight and he took it.
Tattoo likes either foot. Cuts to the outside. Eck nailed him. That's 2. Herb Silva had a perfect angle on that. I'll tell you, he really got hammered.
And it's obvious that he was about to scoot completely past Ted Eck when Ted Eck took him out.
Heavy shoulder of Ted Eck, and that'll cost him a couple of minutes. I'll tell you, Tattoo didn't like that one at all. Power play for Dallas when we come back.
Play it forward. Milano awkwardly comes up with the ball, but then he has a chance to unload this left foot that he's known for. But Dowler makes a great diving save to his right and then knocks the ball away. So great save by Dowler, big shot by Milano. Here's the penalty. Eck steps in. He's a bruiser. He takes Tattoo out with everything. He gets a leg in there and then makes sure with the elbow and forearm.
Dallas has not had a power play. Attendance has hit double figures. That's better than their average. 10,603. They love indoor soccer here in Dallas. Let's see what Dallas can do in the power play. They come in with the 8th best record of the power play, which really means dead last in the MISL. Comets, on the other hand, have the 4th best penalty killing record, and Ted Eck will sit out a couple of minutes for tripping. You could have called it tripping, you could have called it pushing. He got him a little with the lower body and the upper body.
As I like to say, he got his money's worth.
Tattoo. What's he eating there?
He's got a bleeding lip from the elbow and forearm that Eck threw in at him.
I thought he got hit somewhere in the heavy shoulder. He got hit in the teeth, it looks like. So he may have been cut. Here's Ferretti. On the left side, Ferretti with Kevin Smith. Tattoo holding, giving it up now to Kevin Smith again. Into the corner for Carpin. Off the boards, Tattoo with a free shot, a deflection. Carpin. And it's deflected out, and it stays Dallas ball. Here's where they could really use Carpin, though, on the power play with Tattoo in that heavy shot, a lot of deflections. And Carpin, they say it as a compliment, but he is a garbage man out there. Anything loose, he's going to deposit it.
He's always been able to do that well. You see Ted Eck, he dished out some punishment to Tattoo. He's serving his time for it now, but you have to give some credit to Tattoo. He's out there anyway. He's got a bloody lip. He's holding the napkin, paper napkin in there to try and stop the bleeding.
Tattoo to the right side, trying to play it across. Tattoo with 6 power play goals to his credit this year. Coming back on the left side. This is Kane. Comets trying to kill off the penalty. Now it's Wallace. Tattoo will run to the bench. They'll bring out another runner for him, and if they win this ball back, or when they do, he'll be back on. But it looks as though he got cut in the mouth area. Must have been some bleeding, and that's why he's got it there to stop it. I don't think it's tape there. He might be just biting it shut.
Yeah, he's just...
That's why I said facetiously, what's he eating?
He's just biting over on like a paper napkin.
Coming back now, Beto. Across to Carpet. Carpet holding it. Maybe for too long, and then Beto put it upstairs.
Uncharacteristic for Carpet, really. He had a chance to take the shot. He elected not to, and then ended up having not enough time to get one off.
Normally, Carpet does not waste time, and maybe that's a little bit of the rustiness from going out there wanting to be sure, I guess, instead of rushing it like he would, maybe putting it into the back of the net.
Well, he had a chance to get his right foot on it. We saw a tattoo there. It's actually a piece of gauze, I think, that he has been carrying between his teeth.
And now he says enough of that.
Well, he's got to be able to breathe, huh?
Yeah, either the bleeding is stopped or he's just going to tough it out. It'd take a lot more than blood coming from his mouth to slow him down. If anything, it might have angered him, and I don't think the Comets wanted to anger him. That's the last guy you want to have mad on you.
Unless he would retaliate and end up having to be sent off himself. So
he's more likely, though, to retaliate by sticking a couple balls in the back of the net.
That's always the best way to do it, isn't it?
Restart here for the Comets. Comets have played well in this one. Dowler has done well in goal. This is still anybody's game. We still have 5:40 to go, and anyone that's watched indoor soccer knows that that can be an eternity.
When you think about it, up to this point, you have to go back to the third quarter and all those saves that Papaleo made to keep this game close. Tattoo, of course, gets the goal in that third quarter, the only goal of the quarter, to put Dallas ahead. But Papaleo had to knock aside several great chances.
Especially, remember, Dallas had to kill off another power play. So their penalty killers who have hurt them this year helped them tonight on 2 of them. Here's Tattoo. Outside, he got around Wallace. Runs out of room on the right wing boards, and Fraser knocks it away. Good initial move on Wallace.
Really the same move that he had put on Eck to draw the penalty.
Eck is off, so Comets penalty killers have done the job. And Mitchell finds himself fairly open. Against Beto, a great shot, far post that he just missed. Here's Eck. Oh, all Mitchell needs is a little room and not much.
Well, a quick shot also that I don't think that Papaleo would have got to had it been on goal.
Kinsey off the boards for Beto, or for Lawson make it. Behind for Kinsey. McLeod will just get it out of danger. He doesn't want to fool with it. Dowler out of his goal. Down to 4.5 to play in regulation. Dallas Sidekicks are leading at 3-2 in front of better than 10,000 in Dallas. Here's Dowler with Kevin Smith. Great pass.
As the ball changed hands, a mix-up by Kevin Hundell. He puts the ball directly onto Dolly's foot. Dolly comes through. Look at this pass. He puts it through Neely's legs to the opposite side, and Smith hits it first time. There's no way Dolly could get over there. There's the steal. As Dolly came off the bench to intercept the pass. He slots the pass beautifully to the opposite side, and Smith finishes it off. Dolly's so frustrated he can't believe it. This is such a big goal. Dollar, the captain, loves it.
As we go to break, Dallas has a 2-goal lead. Smith, who scores his 12th goal of the year, the assist to Dolly, and that's a nice little present for his newborn son. He scores a goal in his first game back.
That's a key goal when you think about it. Kansas City trying to fight their way back. Now they have to fight back from 2 goals.
And with a 6th attacker, there's Kim Rundved. One of the new rules that I like, I don't know how you feel about it, is now in the MISL you can change goalkeepers on the fly like you can in hockey. I think that's nice. Before you had to get a timeout. Now you can just make the switch as long as he is fully dressed. He's got to have that 6th attacker uniform on completely, or else it'll be a penalty on an illegal substitution. Here's McLeod. Rundved's had a lot of experience in his years in this league playing as a 6th attacker. He is a threat offensively, but I've seen him make some big saves as well. Rundved. Comets have scored 7 goals when they've had a 6th attacker and have given up 10. That's good. That's a good percentage. You figure that you're going to have goals scored against you when you don't have the goalkeeper, but to have only 3 given up more than you've scored. Here's Rundved. Now to Doyle. Outside Wallace, a left footer is wide. Doyle lost it. Here's Snyder. Snyder banged to the boards, and we've got a penalty on Doyle. You know, you're always going to get that call, Ty, when it's up against the boards. If it's in the open field, it's okay, but once you make contact with the boards, you see it all the time.
Snyder playing an excellent game here. Draws an important penalty. And it's really Doyle trying to win that ball. They're desperate at this point. They're going to the 6th attacker. We've got another man going into the box. It's Mitchell. Frustration. He must have had something to say about the call, and now he'll join Doyle in the box.
He got a misconduct, but rules have been changed so much so that Mitchell now will sit out, but they will not be a man down for him. They are a man down the other way. You know, as we went to commercial break, I was going to speculate that we might see the sixth attacker, even though there was 4:20 to go in the game, but I didn't see them make the change, and then during that time, we saw it.
Here's the penalty. Snyder wins the race to the ball. Doyle coming in, not seeing that he can't get to the ball, just piling Snyder into the boards, using his elbow and forearm into the middle of Snyder's back.
And you got to remember, too, the referee's position. Marty Templin has got that view on that side. He's only a few steps behind that.
Well, you can hear the sound effects as Doyle pushed him into the boards. And it's a situation that happens at midfield. The way things have been going tonight, it might not even be a foul, but those boards are there and the call is made.
Here's McLeod from Kevin Smith. Dallas can put it on ice. They've got a 2-goal lead, but I've seen those go by the boards in indoor soccer. 3:23 to go. And a 4-2 lead for the Sidekicks, who are on the power play.
Looks like a tough proposition for the Comets to win even one game this year in this building. They've not been able to do it up to this point.
Kevin Smith holding. Right side for Tattoo. And if anything, they wanted to do that here because this could be a preview of the championship. Baltimore will have a lot to say about that, and so will other teams, but it could come down to this in the championship.
I'm sure Baltimore is watching this game very intently.
They've had a great season, as usual, though, for Baltimore. Beto coming back. Right side, Tattoo across. Carpenter just missed. Timing off a little bit. Here's Beto off the boards for Tattoo. 1:02 left on the man advantage. Well, it doesn't matter what round you face somebody in the playoffs. You like to be able to prove that you can win in the other team's building. It could change. You could meet them in the playoffs, and you could change things. But you like to go in with a little more confidence than saying you've been beaten so many times. So far this year, remember the game we did last week, Baltimore has defeated St. Louis 6 times. There's Mitchell and Doyle in the box. Now McLeod. Time remaining on the power play, 34 seconds, but no real urgency here on this power play with a 2-goal lead. Dallas, if nothing else, doesn't want to get one scored shorthanded.
And Kansas City just one man down because the penalty to Mitchell was a misconduct, which means he goes to the box, but his team does not play short for him. They are one man short because of Doyle's boarding penalty.
McLeod to Beto. Kevin Smith. Now to McLeod. If ever there was such a thing as a defensive power play, folks, you're watching it.
Keep possession, just kill that time.
McLeod. There'll be a minute 39 to go now in the game. Doyle's penalty is over. But Mitchell cannot come out until the next guaranteed substitution. And Papaleo called a timeout, and then it was kicked away by Doyle. Timeout is called by the Dallas Sidekicks. Good timeout, good strategy for Billy Phillips. He wants to make sure that everyone knows their assignments because 1 goal for Kansas City, and they're certainly very capable of that. 1 goal for the Comets, it's a different game.
But it will give a chance for Dale Mitchell to get out of the box, too, and he's one of the guys you really have to watch.
On the guaranteed substitution, Dave Clements looking on. That's his game face. But he knows that his team still has a shot at this one with a minute 29 to go. And you would expect Rundved to come back as the 6th attacker. And there he's got that rainbow-colored uniform on behind him. So Rundved will come on as the 6th attacker. Sidekicks will be plotting their strategy the other way as we look at Dave Clements and Barry Wallace. They've been in these situations before. Now look at Rundved, bothered by the groin injury, but you wouldn't know it tonight. But he is such a gifted player that sometimes when Kim Rundved is 80%, 85%, he's still better than most of the other players that you surround him with.
Again, versatility, a guy who's a solid defender, a hard tackler, but can also go forward. The Sidekicks here will have possession when we restart play, and that's really their mission, to not give up possession, because the longer they can do that, obviously the less time the Kansas City Comets will have to try and get back into this game.
And with Tattoo out there, there's always that potential for the goal. Mitchell is back out there because that is a guaranteed substitution on that timeout. Papaleo looking to throw it. Mitchell back after it, so is Beto. Mitchell blasts it, but Beto got a block on it. Out for McLeod. Looking for Tattoo. Wallace will be there. Off the boards for Doyle. 1:10 to go in the game. Dallas by a couple, 4-2. Kevin Smith with an insurance goal. Tattoos right now would be the game winner if it ended up 4-2. Outside to Wallace. Tees it up off the left foot, and Beto with a block. Lawson with the rest of it. Mitchell right back. And Goossens off the side of his foot and out of play.
Mitchell.
So Dallas will put it in.
Mitchell with an alert pass to switch the point of attack over to Goossens. Goossens may have looked like a poor selection of shots, but if he can get that on goal, the fact that it's come all the way from the opposite side is enough maybe to beat Papaleo, because he's just barely following the track of the original pass.
Papaleo lets Lawson clear it out. And it lands into the crowd. Out of play. Better than 10,000 on hand here in Dallas. Better than the Sidekicks average. Billy Phillips knows that if he wins this one, his magic number dwindles down to 1.
A divisional championship for the Dallas Sidekicks. It would be a first.
Billy Phillips.
First in their 6 years of operation.
Phillips finished out as a goalkeeper with Dallas. Retired, had a job in the front office. He was also pretty much a second assistant on this team. Then when Keith Weller left, went to San Diego, Gordon Jago elevated him. And he became the second assistant. A Wallace shot was high and wide. McLeod, that net is empty. McLeod's shot has some spin, but it goes wide. Mitchell back for it. Got it around Snyder, and he gave it up. Beto! Saved by Mitchell. Beto might have been thinking ahead to the Beto shuffle if he had scored that goal, because he didn't tee it up.
It looked too easy, didn't it?
Yeah. Doyle, blocked. Snyder. Coming back on the right side. Sidekicks will have their 28th win. It'll tie their season high. They've done that twice previous. The magic number is 1 for Tattoo and the Sidekicks. And that man in the orange, Joe Papaleo, had as good a game as you'll see a goalkeeper play, especially when the chips were down and the game was within a goal. Good win for Dallas, but a game effort for the Comets.
A tremendous effort by the Comets. Really unfortunate in the third quarter that they did not get more goals. Give the credit to Papaleo, but what a whale of a game Dollar had, too, at the other end.
Tattoo's goal turns out to be the game winner, his 59th of the year, and it was an unassisted goal for Tattoo and a great individual effort. He scored it at 3:08. Kevin Smith got the last one at 10:40 of the fourth quarter from Dolly. That was an insurance goal. Other Dallas goals came from Willie Milano and Steve Kinsey. Doyle and Mitchell with the goal scores the other way, and Tattoo apparently has thrown another shirt into the crowd. So the Sidekicks' magic number has dwindled down to 1. If they win their next game, they'll have it, or any loss from St. Louis or San Diego, and they would have it. Our final score is 4-2 in favor of the Dallas Sidekicks. A reminder that today's MISL game here on ESPN has been brought to you by Union Jacks, the official uniform supplier of the Major Indoor Soccer League. And by Pepto-Bismol, the one that coats is the only one you need. Game-winning goal. It was the third goal of the game, and it's the individual brilliance of Tattoo. He ends up beating 3 players plus the goalkeeper, Mike Dowler. That made it 3-2, and it ended up 4-2. The Sidekicks win it for Ty Keough. I'm John Paul Dellacamera. So long, everyone, from Dallas.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen.